complexities of social media's impact on our mental health. So fasten your seatbelts because this is Beautiful Mind, and we're about to dive deep into the world of social media and mental health. At the height of the COVID-19 pandemic, we've seen a soar in bullying and intimidation cases involving social media. In 2020, a journalist who declined to be named for safety reasons found herself grappling with the dark side of social media. Despite not being a heavy user, the backlash from netizens over a story her team covered became so overwhelming that she made the difficult decision to deactivate her social media account in a bid to safeguard her mental health. Reflecting on the ordeal, she described the overwhelming harassment. They faced a barrage of comments from netizens on social media, death threats, doxing, and the posting of their office address on Facebook, with threats of violence including burning down the office and harm to the team. During the COVID-19 lockdown, she received strong reactions from netizens on her team's story. The lockdown provided a shield by keeping her away from potential confrontations at the office. But her mental health was a different matter. She avoided social media and laid low as much as possible. After a 2-year hiatus, she cautiously returned to social media due to work obligations.
Other things is that when we start to feel depressed, anxious, or dissatisfied with our lives, this is also an issue because social media, as we all know, whatever people put up on social media is what they want others to see, and all of us have our own self-esteem. We want people to see the good things in our life, and as a passive scroller, if you're constantly looking at how much fun other people are having, or how good other people's lives are, or how good looking they are, and so on, then it's even subconsciously we would start to feel inadequate about ourselves. Our self-esteem will be affected. I know a lot of times we can tell ourselves, oh, it's not true, that it's just people are just putting out the good stuff and they're actually bad stuff in their life. But if we constantly look at this every single day, eventually we would start to believe that it is true, and that leads to a really big issue because it leaves us very dissatisfied and might leave an emptiness in us. And if we let this perpetuate, it would lead to mental illness like depression and anxiety. So based on research, research is not able to say how much social media is bad for you because it's different for different individuals. But it is said that once you start to feel anxious, depressed, dissatisfied with your life, feeling isolated, or you already realize that your function is affected, for example, your work performance or your academic performance is declining, or relationships are being affected, then that is when we already start to see problems in the usage of social media. Some people tend to look at social media as all bad. Social media is a bad thing, it's causing all these problems, but that is definitely a myth. Social media has its advantages as well, and it's the amount of time that we spend on it, as well as our motivations for using social media, that is the problem. So I've spoke about time, I've spoke about how it affects our perception of idealism and so on, and the other thing is our motivations. Some people use social media to escape from their problems, and that, of course, when you first encounter a problem or a stressor and you want to distract yourself or escape, that's fine. But if you continue to escape from the problems and don't solve it, then things will pile up and things will get worse. So that's the thing with social media. In terms of the common misconception is that we need to realize that social media has its benefits. It helps people to connect. For example, families who live apart, they can connect with each other. And I don't deny that social media has also made mental health awareness a lot better. More people are aware now with regards to that. And in marginalized groups like those who do not have a say, we kind of like get a spotlight from them from things like TikTok, Instagram, and so on. So there are advantages, but we need to be careful in how we use social media. Okay? So So I will say there are two big vulnerable groups. One is children, teenagers, and young adults, and the second would be those with underlying mental health issues already. So the reason I say children are the vulnerable groups is because they are actually still developing, right? So if we look at it in a child or in a teenager, they have yet to find their identity. They are navigating through puberty, trying to learn a lot of things in life. And one thing is that frontal lobe is not yet fully developed, so the ability to control impulse will be less. So they will be more prone to addictions. That's one. The other thing is also they are not not so aware of the dangers that lurk in social media. Okay, we can't deny that there are dangers there. Okay, there can be predators, they will be exposed to dangerous content and so on, and be interacting with people with unsafe individuals and so on. So that's one of it, the direct use of social media. When they use social media, there can be impact on them. But also at the same time, we must understand that a lot of parents are using social media as well and spending a lot of time on the internet. So when parents are doing that, they are distracted from their parenting role. And when parents do that, children actually learn how to interact with other people through modeling. So parents actually are their first teachers. So they would observe how a parent interacts, to how they form eye contact, how to read non-verbal cues and so on. But if parents are constantly engaged in their phones, where are children going to learn that from? And if we say from peers, how often do children spend time with their peers these days? They're spending a lot of time watching YouTube videos, watching TV, playing something on their phone because their parents allow that to happen. And this is really going to be a big issue in the future, in the years to come, whereby we would have children who will end up becoming teenagers and adults who are unable to interact face to face, who are unable to regulate their emotions because they're constantly connected to something, right? So constantly being stimulated. But we, in our personal growth, we also need time. We need time to self-reflect, to sit down and think like, what is it I want in my life and so on, and also to feel our emotions. How do you do all that if you're constantly looking at the screen? So I think that would really affect. We might see more mental health issues in the future when this generation grows up.